Hi guys, Samantha from Jessama Tutorials here, and today I'm going to be showing you another leftover technique for your cane leftovers. So in a previous tutorial I showed you how to create these canes, and I'll provide a link to that tutorial in the links below, but today we're going to be using up the leftovers. So I'll just bring those over. Have them on this piece of paper to keep them from sticking to each other. And we're going to be creating some leftovers. Well, we're going to be using these in a leftover technique. So you can see we have a whole bunch over here. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be making a marble, and the rest we'll use in a different leftover technique later. So the more complex pieces I'll put aside, and we are going to be using the simpler pieces like these. Okay, so what we want to do is this is almost like a controlled marble. So I'm going to take these Skinner blends and I'm going to lengthen them out like that. And you want to vary the colours, so you don't want all the same colour next to each other. It's important that you don't do that. And then we'll take some of these. And when you're squishing it, so I'll move these out the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. A little messy of me to keep these in the tile space. There we go, that's better. Okay, so when you're squishing these, you want to try not to get any overlaps. So when you're squishing it to lengthen it out, you want to be reducing it nice and evenly without any folds. Okay, and this is almost going to be a Skinner blend, but not quite. So there we go, I'm going to just flatten this out so it's the same size. Okay, and then I'll bring over a different coloured Skinner blend bullseye piece, and I'll pop that over there. And this is why we're going to be using the more simple canes today, because if we were using the complex canes, the colours wouldn't look right, because the colours would all overlap and you'd end up with mud. This one you can do this because you don't have so many colours and they won't interfere with each other. So I'll continue doing this until I've used up all the scraps. Okay, so I've done this. Now I'm just gently going to lift it up. Now these pieces aren't properly stuck together, so you need to be a little careful. But we want to just squish it up a little bit so that it can fit into the pasta machine, and so it's all stuck together before we put it in the pasta machine. Okay, and I'll bring over my roller and roll it flat, and this will help stick it together. There you go. And then we can move on to the pasta machine. So I'll just bring the pasta machine over. Okay, so here's the pasta machine. And here's our pieces. I'll just pop it onto the pasta machine. And I'm actually just going to bring you forward just a touch. There we go. And rolls through. And this is on the thickest setting. And then we're going to fold it. Very careful to keep everything in its lanes. You don't want crossover, because otherwise it can ruin the effect. Okay. And I'll fold it over one more time. I squished out all the air bubbles there, because you don't want air bubbles in this fold. Okay, and then squish that out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently squish it up so that it forms a more compact piece, which will make it easier for us to work with it. There we go. Okay, then we'll roll that through. And there's what it looks like. And we will fold, trying to keep everything in its designated spot. And roll. And now you can use it just like that if you want. Fold and roll. Fold and roll, and so on. So I don't want to roll too many times. I want to roll enough that we start to get a blurred effect. So you can see that these are starting to turn dark, which is what I want. Okay. And now it's starting to widen again, so I'm just going to fold it and then just gently squish it up so that it's a little bit more compact. Just butting it up against the end over here, which helps. And then we'll roll it through again. Okay, and I'm going to do just one more roll and that will be good. And there we are. Might actually roll one last time. Changing my mind, left, right and centre. There we go, happy with that. So I'll put that aside. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Just busy getting off the bits of clay that's stuck to the back, but it's the front that you want. So you can see that we have this really nice blurred effect, and you could carry on going so that these stripes were blended, but I'm quite happy with how it looks. So that's the first one that we are going to make. I'm just going to call this a controlled marble because, well, that's basically what it is. Now we'll bring over these ones, and now this one I'm going to use in a very simple leftover technique. I'm basically going to cut it into slices like I would any normal cane. And the souffle is so easy to slice. And I'll just put that off to the side. And I'll do the exact same with this one. And the slices don't all have to be equal, you just want them in slices. And then I'll bring over other canes that I have over here. And again, I'll just slice those. And there's two more over here. And if you're wondering what that noise is in the background, my sisters are playing in the pool and, well, they're quite noisy when they play. There we are. So I'm just busy bringing over all the other little bits that we have. And I'll pop them to the side over here because now we are going to use them. And I want to just sort them out into little colour groups. So all the different colours go into their separate areas. We'll bring over those other ones that we sliced. And here are some other pieces. So what I'm basically going to do is, if I can mirror it, I will. If I can't, that's fine. Okay. And so I'll just basically arrange these in a pattern that I like, because this is basically all we're going to be doing with it. This is what I like to do with my more complex cane pieces, because it looks nice. So I'll just arrange all of these pieces into a sheet. Okay, so I formed it all into a sheet. Now I'm going to bring over my roller and just flatten it out. Now you want to be gentle, you don't want overlaps, so just be careful. This is why I don't like to put it through my pasta machine before I've gotten it a little bit flattened out, because otherwise the pasta machine can create a lot of distortion. So if I'm using my roller, it can be a little bit more even and controlled. There we go. And I'm just going to pick this up quickly and flip. And remember, the other side looks just as good. And I flatten from this side as well, because it will help flatten it out a little bit more evenly. There we go. Because you don't want any bumps or bumps. So I'll sometimes use my fingers to move it into the places I want it to move. And then I'll go back over and roll. There we go. That's basically flat. Okay. So that's what the back side looks like, which is quite nice, and the front side. So both sides look nice. And here's what this one looks like as well, so they match. So that's basically what I've done for the leftovers of these two canes, and so those will match as well. So you can use those with these if you wanted to, but that's basically how I used up these leftovers. So I do hope that this tutorial was helpful to you, and if it was, please do let me know, as that's always helpful to me. And please do check out the links below, as there'll be links to more tutorials like this one, and there'll also be a link to my website, jessamatutorials.com, where I have articles and videos and places where you can send in pictures and early access to all of my YouTube videos, so be sure to check that out, as you'll be able to get a hold of the YouTube videos a week to 2 weeks beforehand. So please do check that out. And if you're looking for more complex tutorials, do check out Etsy or Patreon. I post complex project tutorials on there every single month, and I'm sure that you won't want to miss it. So be sure to check that out. There'll be links to that below as well. And as always, I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.